1 pound is the same as 0.45 kilograms. Sam weighs 175 pounds. What is Sam's weight in kilograms? How are you going to figure that? Multiply, you said it with a question mark. Are you sure or not sure? Think about it. Take out that decimal. If 1 pound equals 2 kilograms, that means every time you have a pound, you'd have 2 kilograms. What would you do if you had 175 pounds? You'd have 175 two times, right? So you're going to have 175.45 times. A lot of times when you are working with decimals and fractions and you're not quite sure what to do with them, just change them in your mind to a whole number. Figure out how would you do it if it were a whole number. Then you'd have to do the same thing. Just do it with the decimal. So go on and multiply that. And it says round your answer to the nearest unit. See, they use all kinds of vocabulary. Unit still means ones. Whole. To the nearest whole. I think I prefer my weight expressed in kilograms. That's what I'm going to figure out what it is, and from now on, if somebody asks how much I weigh, I'm going to give it to them in kilograms.
Sounds good to me.
Yeah, and they'll say, "No, you don't." I said, "Yeah, in kilograms." And what is your answer?
79.
Everyone gets 79? Hmm?
I got 81 on 72.
You shouldn't have had point anything because they want you to round it off to the nearest whole. But you said, you got how many?
80.
What was your answer as a decimal?
Actually, no, it's just 79. So I
What
guess,
is-
well, wait, no. 79.2500.
Okay, I think you guys had some problems with multiplying. When you multiply 175 times decimal point 45, you should have gotten 78.75. Go back to your multiplication. 175 times 0.45. Notice I didn't put the zero there because the zero in front of there is unnecessary. It just says no dollars. Look at my numbers and yours and see where your multiplication went wrong. Got it? 2 points there, 2 places there. I want to round off to here, so I look at here. It's more than 5, so that goes up 1. Did you see where you made your mistake? And don't worry, you don't use this. What is that thing? Let's see. Oh, yeah, you didn't have to use a 0, but that's all right, because you don't have to go and multiply by the 0, but you had to multiply by the 5, and then you had to multiply by the 4.
Right.
So 4 times 20, and that's 28, and 2 is 30. And 3 will be 7. Okay, let's look at the next one.
That'd be 80, right?
No, because they want you to round it off to the nearest unit, which is this place.
Okay.
The nearest whole this is the nearest whole. If they wanted it to the nearest 10, it would be 80.
Oh, okay.
They just want you to change this one. Does
Gotcha.
this stay 8 or does it go to 9? Because of the 7, it goes to 9.
Okay.
To the nearest unit, remember that the unit is the ones place, not over to the tens. Okay? Number 7, on the next page. Says to pay for a new sports center, the town of Troy raised $1.35 million from the state, $0.85 million from the county, and $1.05 million from local businesses and individuals. The total estimated cost of the project is $4 million. How much more money does the town need? So what do you have to do to figure that out? Okay, add first, then subtract. You gotta first figure out how much they have, then subtract that from the 4 million, so go on and do that. How much? Did you say 175? 175? Hmm? 0.75. What did you end up, what was the total? When you added them all together, what'd you get? I wonder what Brenda got though. Mm-hmm. When you added the three numbers together,
I didn't add them, I just subtracted them from 4 million.
each one of them, one at a time?
Is it longer like that?
It's longer that way for one, and in some way you made a mistake. Because you should have just added them all up and found out how much they had already, and then subtract that from 4 million and see how much they still needed. But it should have come out the same. When you subtract 1.35 from 4, you would have gotten 2.65. And then you subtract 0.85 from 2.65, you've had 1 point something. And then subtract the 1.05, you should have ended up with 0.75. Somewhere along the line, check your math. But you see, that is a way to do it as well. So did you see where your math went? Did you get blank?
1.25.
1.25. What did you get when you added 1.35 plus 0.85 plus 1.05?
3.25.
3.25 is correct. Now, subtract 3.25 from 4. If you have $4 and I give you $3.25, how much money are you gonna have left?
$4, $1.25.
If you had $4 and you gave me $3.25, you're gonna have $1.25 left?
No.
That's because you just brought that 25 down. You didn't take that quarter from anything.
Yeah.
You gotta take it from something. If you have that 4 on top, what do you have to do to make sure you can take that 25 from something?
Borrow.
You gotta make that $4. 4.00, and you have 4 holes.
Yeah.
Now you take 3.25 from it, you see? You got that, but see, if you think about it again logically, if I have 4 and I take 3 and something from it, how am I gonna have 1 and something left, you see? If I take 3 from it, I only have 1 left. If I take 3 and something from it, I have to have less than 1 left, you see?
Yeah.
Those numbers have to translate into words to you. Because if you just work with the numbers, you come up with all kinds of stuff. It makes sense when you're just doing numbers. But if you're putting words to those numbers and actually figuring out what do these numbers say to me? They say I have 4 whole things and you wanna take 3 whole things from me plus some more. I know my answer's gotta be less than 1, you see what I mean? Even if I couldn't figure out the answer, if it were multiple choice and only one answer was less than 1 whole, I'd know that was the answer, you see? Just by that thought. You gotta put that problem-solving thought to it before you just start running the math on it. Because the math can mess you up sometimes when you're not really sure. But if you think about it first, you'll know at least that can't be the answer. You know, as soon as you said 1.25, I knew it couldn't be the answer because if I took 325 and I still had 125 left, that meant I'd have to have had $4.50, right? But I didn't, I only had $4.
So it's 0.75, right?
0.75, you'd have 75 cents left, okay? All right, let's look at number 8. Any other questions about that one? Okay. It says in a basketball, a scoring average is the number of points a player gets divided by the number of games he plays. So I'll go through that again because there's a period. To find their average, their scoring average, they take the number of points the